Hello and welcome to Consumerism. Consumerism is a turn-based resource management game where the player runs a cotton manufacturing company. The aim of the game is to successfully balance making profit, keeping your carbon emissions low and your ethical status high. So here's the basic UI. You're granted with a product cycle, which is how your cotton is taken from harvesting to distribution. So firstly you have your picking plan here, then you have your transport from your picking plan to your manufacturer, your transport from your manufacturer to Europe, and your European distribution. Over to the side here you have 5 or 6 upgrade buttons which take you to menus specific to each stage in the product cycle, and a general upgrades tab as well. Over here you have your live feed, so any changes you make during your time in the game will appear here. You also have your resources up the top here, so you have your money that your company has, your CO2 emissions that you're producing, your ethical status, and the amount of cotton you're producing. You also have your expected income next turn up here in the top corner, and over here your expected ethics emissions and cotton growth per turn. So the first thing we're going to do today is to upgrade our picking plan to an upgraded picking plan. So how we're going to do that, so we're going to click on this button here, and it's going to take us to the upgrades we're available to do to our actual picking plan. We're going to choose the advanced picking plan here. So once we click this, we're going to pay £250,000 to implement it. But what it's also going to do is it's going to reduce our ethical status of our picking plan to 0, and also a payoff is we're going to have to spend an extra £5,000 per turn to implement it. It's also going to appear here that we've set it to advanced. What we're also going to do is we're going to make some upgrades to the picking plan itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase our training by spending £10,000 per turn, but we also increase our ethical status by 1 by increasing how well our employees are trained. We're going to do the same to support and healthcare. That's all we're going to do for turn 1, so we're going to click the next turn button and run a full cycle of our product cycle. As you can see here, we've received 3 cards which are randomly generated at the end of each turn depending on your ethical status, your CO2 emissions, and how much money you're making. So if your ethical status or your CO2 emissions are very low, then you're going to get cards that directly impact you in a bad way because of that. So we've got local authorities stop your cargo for hours whilst they check everything is in order. Workers at your manufacturing plant have nothing to do for hours, meaning they've been paid for no work, which doesn't do a huge lot, but it does cause unrest in your picking plan, your manufacturing plant. Forest fire destroys your picking plant, you need to rebuild. We've lost £10,000 and 10 bales of cotton because of this, which is very bad. We've also got pesticides used to protect your cotton as many workers fall extremely ill. Reports are coming out that a couple of deaths have been linked to this, and this has reduced our ethical status hugely, and so our carbon emissions. So if we close these cards, you can see that our ethical status is shot up, which is very bad, because if we don't reduce this quickly, we're going to fail very, very quickly. But we are expected to earn £42,000 this turn, which is good. But as you can see here, our ethics are going to go down by 9, and our emissions are going to go up by 35, so we do need to do something about that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our manufacturing plan to an upgraded manufacturing plan, which reduces our ethical status of our manufacturing plan to 0, which is going to be huge. However, it does cost £300,000. We're also going to go into the general upgrades menu, and we're going to increase our human rights campaigns and our environmental awareness to try and keep these ethical status up as well. I'm going to click next turn. Okay, so we've now got 3 more cards. As you can see, we've lost another 5 ethical status because our environmentalists are concerned with our use of genetically modified crops. Our ship was damaged in the Suez Canal, meaning we've lost 5 cotton. Our ethics have gone down by another 5, and our emissions have gone up. But we have earned £10,000 because import tax has been lowered in certain countries, so that's good. So now, as you can see, our ethical status is reaching critical levels, so we're going to have to do something desperate to try and affect this. So we're going to go to each of these and try and increase some of these to high to try and stave off the impending doom. Click next turn again. As you can see, we've now had riots in India causing issues for our manufacturing plant. We've lost £5,000, we've lost 5 cotton, there's another 2 cotton because our crops have been damaged, and another ship has been damaged, losing all of our resources again, which is not very good. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly fast forward through to the end of the game to show you what happens when you lose the game. So we're just going to skip through this. And here we are. We've lost because our ethical status reached 0. Your poor ethical standards have attracted attention from local authorities who have shut you down. Final stats: we have earned £992,000, which is quite good. Our environmental status was very good, but unfortunately our ethics failed us.